Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo and you're watching another live Q&A with you and me. I answer your questions every single day, usually in separate videos. Some days we do AMAs. You can tune in live. You even get priority. You want me to answer your question because I know you've probably got a question for me. It's okay. You get tons of bonuses starting at just $2 a month if you become one of our patrons, aka the Super Nomies, and I appreciate those of you who do support our endeavors. I'm very, very happy to answer your questions. Today's question is, what makes Comic-Con so awesome? If you have not been to at least a Comic-Con or something like a Comic-Con, you are missing out. Trust me, you're missing out. The thing I love most about Comic-Con is not getting dressed up myself. I'm really not much of a cosplayer at this point. I want to be comfortable, and generally speaking, the people who really do get into cosplay really get into cosplay. I like going not just to see the vendors, not just to see some of my favorite products, not just to sit on sessions, because honestly, I really didn't think I'd ever sit in on a Comic-Con session and enjoy it up until the recent one, Emerald City Comic-Con. I posted my experience for Comic-Con, this recent one, in the Pirillo Vlogs channel, if you were curious what I saw. So, cosplaying, to me, is everything that's wonderful about Comic-Con. And I know that some people would say, oh, it's all about the sessions. No, it's all about the vendors and the deals and the exclusives. That's interesting to me. Absolutely. But to me, it's the cosplayers. I love seeing not just the creativity of people, but the creativity of people who are bold enough and believe in themselves so much that they will be that character in public. That is strength. And I understand that some people would laugh and point fingers and suggest that we are the weaker of the species and that those of us who might enjoy an event like Comic-Con need to quote-unquote grow up. But to me, we've already grown up. And we love doing something like this. I'm not a cosplayer, but that is what I think makes Comic-Con so awesome. Seeing how much goes into it. I love seeing families walking around. It's very clear when you got a mommy and a daddy. They may not be cosplaying together, but they're in a hoodie or a t-shirt with a mask or a hat or whatever, and they've got their kids. And everyone's having fun. And I love that. I think that's fantastic to see. And it doesn't matter how amazing a costume might be. It's that they're doing it. So that's the first of many reasons why I like Comic-Con, and I'll make this general too. I'll say this is this type of event. And I think that's just a part of the spirit that just makes me feel like I'm having fun. And I'm going to go ahead and compare this to an event that really has no comparison, CES. And I know that certain geeks look forward to CES because of all the new tech stuff. But if you've ever been to CES, it's a lot of people wearing ties. It's fun-ish, but it's completely different. It's more straight-laced. And technology is fun, no doubt about that, when you find the right tech. And it's interesting when you find the right product. But it's a completely different kind of event. CES would be fantastically more interesting to me if we cosplayed. But there's no cosplayers at CES. Unless they were hired to do it, really. But that to me is just the spirit of being a geek. And I think Comic-Con is closer to a geek spirit than CES. That's my feeling. That's how I feel. One of the reasons why, as we put together the details for Gnome Decks, the event that we're producing, I'm bringing it out of retirement. I ran the event for 10 years. We're making Gnome Decks like a vlogger fair for geeks and nerds. I want it to be a mix between CES, the fun of tech, and Comic-Con, the fun of being a geeker, nerd, and living that life out loud. So cosplaying mixed with tech, mixed with Minecrafting, mixed with collecting, mixed with toys, mixed with fun, mixed with personalities, where all of the possible YouTubers you can think of who are geeky or nerdy in some way, shape, or form are welcome. And we will be able to come together and meet you, our community, all at the same time. Because fandoms, trust me, cross over. Oh, trust me. So, at a deeper level, I appreciate not just seeing things that I love, and you know, brands that I love. It was funny. I made a mention of this in a forthcoming review I'm doing on the Pop Vinyl Ultron figurine or bobblehead that DorksideToys.com sent me. I mentioned that every other booth seemingly had Pop Vinyl in their booths. And that's cool. I mean, you see one Pop Vinyl, and you see it and it's available, you can get it, fine. I mean, pricing is rather competitive. But to me, I loved stumbling into new artists, new anything, things that I had no idea existed that I just suddenly appreciated immediately. It's how I found one of my favorite artists, Justin Hillgrove, at the Folklife Festival. Not even at a comic kind of event, not at a geek event at all. But he was there. And I was like, wow. And I became a fan immediately and ended up buying the original work that brought me to love his art. And I make it a point that when I know he's at a show that I'm at, I make it a point to see him, shake his hand, and we're on a hugging basis. So my one acquisition, believe it, okay, 2 acquisitions at one booth. I think this will surprise you, but it jumped out at me immediately. And this will make sense for those who know me very well. This. And this. Books, 2 books. Pacido y Abuelito and Rosita y Conchita. So 2 books that I know how to pronounce those words, just so you know. I'm having fun, okay? Took 3.5 years of Spanish in college. And Diana says that my accent is wonderful when I'm serious about it. But I saw these, and they jumped out at me. Not just the art style, which, you know, I like Dia de los Muertos. I love the ethos of this style. I love that. I really genuinely do. But why I was attracted to this specifically was because it's storybooks written in both English and Spanish. And so as Jedi gets older, as we're teaching her both Spanish and English, in any language that she wants to take in, including C, C++, what else might she want to learn? What other language? Swift. It's completely up to her. JavaScript, she wants. Is JavaScript a language? Is that officially like a language now? I don't know. Sorry, I'm talking to my box of Darth Vader Pop-Tarts here, and it's not answering. Yeah, full box of Darth Vader Pop-Tarts! I didn't find that at Comicon, though. No, I had to win an auction to get that. So they're written in, this one is a rhyming storybook, but, you know, you've got Spanish on one side, English on the other, or whichever way. So you're able to get both languages, and I think that's fantastic. It's original, and even better, since this was at an event where both the artist and, or I should say illustrator and author were there, they signed it and personalized it to Jedi, which is fantastic. I mean, these 2 were the only things I got at Comic-Con, believe that or not. And I saw plenty of things that I thought would be nice, but these really jumped out at me. They've got a thing called Muertoons, W, my God. W's not even, man, maybe I need to go back to English class. Muertoons, Muertoons, and they're doing something, though I haven't looked too deeply into it. But this is, to me, it was perfect. I never would have found it otherwise. Never would have thought in a million years something like this would have existed. Jedi will get to it at some point in the distant future because I believe not just the themes are a bit more advanced, but you know, the whole reading comprehension thing. But we have them on hand, personalized, waiting for Jedi. I love this stuff. That to me is Comic-Con in so much of a nutshell. I'm not very succinct, am I? I've never really been known for that. Sorry, I was talking to my my box of Darth Vader fruit snacks there, and it wasn't answering at all. Just gonna go ahead and. I'm talking to you. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for asking the question. Keep asking questions. I do love answering them, but you got to keep asking them. I appreciate your support no matter how you choose to give it. I love you, but at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices.